Now, another thing, the crotch down where you hang is always a little too tight. So when you make them up, give me an inch that I can let out there, because they cut me. Let's see if you can't leave me about an inch from where the zipper ends, round under my, back to my hole.
It was quite the adventure to get to this episode of the Mike and Molson Too Good for Radio podcast, live from the Florida studios now. We've been branching out across the country, so I'm live joining you, Johnny, from the Florida studios here in the Sunshine State.
Great to have you from our new palatial Florida studios. I'm still back in sunny Springfield, Illinois. Did you hear that? I was opening up a little bottle of fizzy water.
Oh, well, that'll come into play later on, because we have a story involving things filled with fizz that we must get to, because there is a family pet apparently that was offed in a fizzy type of way. But before we get there,
you have moving is hard anyway. Moving 1,000 miles is a tribulation.
Yes, I won't get into all of it, but I will say I now have a greater respect for the over-the-road truck driver.
No kidding.
I did 16 hours over 2 days to get from the home in Chatham to the new palatial studios here in Florida. 12 hours day one, like 4 hours day two. But I will say one of the greatest parts of that journey was seeing the road sign billboards change as you got further and further south.
That's a different country down there south, isn't it?
It really is. I don't know if you know this, Johnny, but The Walking Dead lied to us, because it's not our own kind of MacGyvering and survival instincts that will deliver us from the zombie apocalypse. No. According to a series of 5 billboards that had various zombies on them, the only way to truly survive the zombie apocalypse is through Jesus. I didn't know if you knew that, but apparently Jesus is the
zombies.
He's the ultimate weapon. Like, Jesus is the one that can just behead every zombie all at once. At least that's what I gathered from those signs as I drove by them.
Nails out and jams them in the head.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. He pulls those nails and just goes to town on those zombies. It literally was like 5 of those in a row. And I was like, I don't know what they're trying to tell me, but the only thing I gleaned was the number one zombie killer is Jesus.
Well, look, hey, I'm not here to disparage anybody's faith. And that's, I just didn't know that was the thing we have to worry about right now.
I didn't think so.
Things going on, right? I mean, I think there's bigger, Satan, for example.
Yeah, right. I thought that was the good and evil battle. Apparently, Satan's been vanquished. He's not to be worried about in the greater scheme of things. Apparently, it's the zombie apocalypse. Now, I will say this: the signs themselves did look a little worn. So I don't know if this was at the zenith of the Walking Dead popularity. That exactly they were put up and they never were changed. But according to these particular signs, don't have to worry about Satan, just the zombies. That's going to be the different part.
Is there a website attached to it or anything?
You know what? I think it may have been like he's coming, or no, there's a different one. I didn't notice the website for that one, but there was one that was very much like trying to scare the crap out of you. It's like JesusComingBackSoon.com, and it was very much like we're all going to hell. And it's like I'll be back soon. It was like JesusComesBackSoon.com.
I found a picture of it. It's I-will-be-back.org.
Yes, that's what it was. Yes, that's exactly what it was. There's a lot of dashes in that website, I will say. I don't know why there's so many dashes, why you wouldn't just make it all one word, but I guess that's easier to say for them.
Obviously IwillBeback.org has been taken, and so has IwillBeback.net and IwillBeback.com. So the only thing that was left was I-will-be-back.org.
Yes. So those were a couple of ones. The one that really stood out to me even more than those though was a place called Cafe Risque, where they bear all open 24 hours.
Is that also a religious place?
I imagine some people scream out God's name there. I'm pretty sure. I don't know what my biggest fear about that place though is. Of one, it's a functioning cafe. Is it like a Waffle House? And how much pubes end up in the batter because they bear all? Or two, who exactly is working the 6:45 a.m. on a Tuesday shift on stage?
Yeah, can I just go in and get a fancy coffee?
I don't know. I did not stop, but they bear all, and they let you know that on every billboard for Cafe Risque. It was probably a good 120 miles out that Cafe Risque started to actually advertise on the billboards. And as you got closer and closer, it really want to let you know you get a good home cooked meal and boobs and vagina right there in front of you at Cafe Risque.
I'm seeing that it is a fully nude place. Let's see here. I want to say
it's like, yeah, it's right like on the Georgia-Florida line there.
Here's the menu.
Okay, good.
We've got the Risque special. Lots of hash browns with 2 eggs.
Lots of hash browns.
They make a nice French toast.
Okay.
You can get a steak sandwich there.
Oh, I'm sure you can. You get a lot of meat.
I do wish these things had some funny stripper names, like, so you can get a grilled cheese tuna melt. I mean, that's not funny.
No, you need to spice it up.
I want funny, unusual names. Yeah, like the areola pancakes,
or the bacon, or the bacon strip and eggs. That kind of thing. I want something along those lines. I did not frequent Cafe Risque, but I'm surprised they have a website, to be honest with you, because their billboards.
CafeRisque.net. Because again, CafeRisque.com and CafeRisque.org
is gone. That was already taken. What about cafe-risk-k.org? Was that taken?
In their About Us page, it says Cafe Risque TM is
make sure you don't want people stealing that trademark. That's important stuff.
Is the best place to eat good food and see smoking hot ladies. Whether you're trucking through, relaxing after a hard day work, getting away from the old lady, or living it up for a birthday or bachelor party, relax and enjoy this show. Cafe Risque, I-75, exit 374.
There we go. Perfect. Yeah.
God almighty.
I know. I was like, what is going on here? There's another billboard that just simply said, strippers, need I say more? And that's all it said. And it was like, exit 25. Please say more, because I want to know what I'm getting into.
I do want more information.
Yes. And I'll also say this before I end the road trip diatribe to start this particular episode of the Mike and Molson Too Good for Radio podcast. I think Wally's up in Pontiac, Illinois, better than a Buc-ee's. I said it.
Oh, yeah?
You can at me if you can at me if you want. I liked Wally's better than Buc-ee's. That's just me.
What makes it better?
I think that the Wally Bear is a kinder, cuddlier mascot. And it just
beaver.
Yeah, I got no use for that stupid beaver. The Wally Bear is a superior spokes animal than the Buc-ee's. And to tell you, the Buc-ee's, the beaver nuggets original, not great. You got to get the flavored beaver nuggets. Got to get a little extra flavor. They're white cheddar beaver nuggets. That was good stuff. But the original beaver nuggets, not so great for me. I don't know. I guess because the hype was so high for Buc-ee's for me, it just didn't live up to the Wally's, at least in my opinion.
Well, yeah, that's another check mark for the Midwest, man. We got Wally's.
That's right.
Don't have to worry about Buc-ee's.
No, we don't. Speaking of bears, though,
yes.
there's a politician that had a interesting. This guy that was an interesting revelation in the article, and he just came out and said it.
It's been a lot of people have been talking about it, and it's been all around. But I think it's worth just kind of dissecting the audio and really figuring out what. So this is RFK Jr. And the backstory is New Yorker magazine or something was about to just nail him and say, "Oh my God, this guy killed a bear and left it in Central Park." And so he decided, "Hey, I'll get out ahead of it and steal their thunder, and I'll just tell the story. I'll just come clean."
Always a great strategy.
When you think about coming clean, and you think of you go to 60 Minutes or maybe Jake Tapper or something like that. No, he went to Roseanne Barr's house and sat in her kitchen and just told the story.
He was taking a group of people falconing up in Goshen, New York, up in the Hudson Valley.
Now he's got a speech impediment that makes it hard to understand. But he starts off by saying, "I was taking a group of people falconing,"
which is something everyone does on their recreational time, is to falcon.
And while
Xerxes.
he was falconing with some friends,
I was supposed to meet them there at like maybe 8 or 9. I was driving up maybe, really early, like 7. And that woman in a van in front of me hit a bear and killed it.
So as he's driving up, a woman in front of him smashes into a bear, kills it. Yes.
Poor bear. Sorry.
Poor bear.
I found that's the new digs. The new Florida studios got the sound effects now.
Oh, came with a trumpet. That's nice.
Yes. All right. So the bear's dead. Bear's dead.
I guess this is like a hit and run. The woman takes off.
A young
Bear police.
So I pulled over and I picked up the bear and put him in the back of my van because I was going to skin the bear. And it was very good condition. And I was going to put the meat in my refrigerator. And you can do
What? Wait.
So I picked up the bear, threw it into my car, and I was going to skin the bear because it had some very good meat. It was in very good condition to make some bear burgers.
Okay. Which, by the way, you can get at Bear It All Cafe Risque. The bear burgers are the special.
I-will-be-back.
First of all, aren't bears heavy?
It's a baby bear.
Oh God! What? The bear meat isn't like veal. You can't have a baby. You can't have a baby bear burger. You weirdo! It's not like veal. I'm going to skin it. You don't say that.
If you've killed something in the road, and you can take it and eat it if you want.
Yes, but doesn't mean you should.
You can get a bear tag for a roadkill bear. And at the end of the dinner, it went late, and I realized I couldn't go home. I had to go to the airport.
So he's on his way. So he's on his way to have dinner with friends, and the dinner goes late after falconing and witnessing a bear murder. And then he realizes, oh man, I can't get this bear home to my freezer. Now what do I do? Because I got to go to the airport.
What a conundrum. We've all been there, right? I got fresh baby bear in the trunk, and I just got to figure out what to do with it.
All right. So he hatches a plan.
And the bear was in my car, and I didn't want to leave the bear in the car because that would have been bad. But I said, let's go put the bear in Central Park, and we'll make it look like he got hit by a bear.
What's the funny part of that?
He says, let's take the bear to Central Park, and I'll make it look like it got hit by a bike.
Because that's hilarious, right?
Right.
Funny for people. So everybody thought that's a great idea. So we went and did that, and we thought it would be amusing for whoever found it or something. The New Yorker somehow found out about it, and they're going to do a big article on me, and that's one of the articles. So they asked me, the fact checker said.
So the upshot is, so he gets to Central Park, and he throws the bear in the park and then throws a bike on top of the bear so that the person who comes upon the bear says, oh, crap, somebody ran over a bear with a bike, and now there's a bear and a dead bike.
That's hilarious. That old bear and a bike bit.
And this happened about 10 years ago. And I guess NYPD has been trying to figure this thing out, is who in the hell left a dead bear under a bike in Central Park? They've never figured it out until he just comes out and confesses it.
Good Lord. First of all, if he had time to drive all the way to Central Park, set up the bear and set up the bike, but he didn't have time to go home and put the bear in the freezer? Am I understanding that correctly?
Falconing dead bear on my way to a dinner party in New York. He takes a side road and he realizes he can't get home in time to put the bear in the freezer. So the only thing he can do is just dump it in Central Park and put it under a bike, so that people will think, oh, this is what happened, and not some crazy maniac just dumped it.
Good Lord. You know what?
Right. He wants to be president of the United States. Yeah,
and considering some of the other stuff that he said, that sounds sane now compared to this story. Maybe that's why he released it. He's like, well, if you think I'm crazy about the vaccines, here, hold my beer. You're never going to believe this bear story I got for you.
He at one point suggested that maybe that's how the worm got into his brain.
Oh, was the dead bear in the car?
Right.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because you get worms from that.
Yeah. You know what? If you don't cook it right. You know what I think he did? I can see him putting it in the front seat and using the HOV lane. It's just me and my bear friend just driving on down the highway.
Well, this is the Sex and Poo podcast, as everyone knows. And
yes,
we got some toilet problems.
Yes, a guy in Texas, talk about a weird scheme. Apparently, they busted this guy before anyone was seriously injured, but he went around to various different car washes, a certain type of car wash, one brand or whatever, and he went into their restrooms and he planted small explosives underneath the toilet seat that were set to go off when a certain amount of pressure was put upon them. So if for some reason you had to just take care of some business while your car was getting cleaned, these car wash surfaces, you sit down to take care of that business and you'd be blown off the toilet.
But only the heavy people.
Right. I don't know what the pressure was set to. I don't know if it was just for big old fat people or just anyone sitting on there would be blown off the toilet. But yeah, there was apparently they found it at 4 different locations on 8 to 10 different toilets. And that was going to be his whole plan, was to blow people off the toilet with these mini explosives that he had rigged up underneath the toilet seat.
Was it supposed to just surprise people, or was it supposed to kill them?
I think it was just more surprise people and blow up the toilet. I think it was like the cherry bomb in the toilet type thing. I don't think it was going to seriously, it would seriously injure you because it's still an explosion on your backside, on your bare skin. But I don't think it was meant to kill anyone. But can you imagine then ending up, had he been successful, you get rolled in. What happened to you? Just try to use the bathroom at the car wash. And next thing I know, I singed my nuts. I don't know what's going on with this whole thing.
So not a big terrorist plot that they uncovered there, but just some joker.
Yeah, some 46-year-old guy in Texas. Can you imagine though, too, all it took into to make those small explosives and to set it? God, how much practice? What did he have to put on some of the faux toilet seats to make sure that it would explode correctly the way he wanted, to set the right weight?
Yeah, and I wonder what. Yeah, exactly. And why at the car wash? Why all of it? Why all of it, Mike?
Why all of it, indeed? Why the bear in Central Park? Why the toilet? Why the nude French toast? I don't know, Johnny. I don't know. But I do know, since we're continuing on with crime and maybe some animals involved here, there is a giant spat between roommates over a particular pet and how it perished.
I'd like to introduce you to Elena Rasmussen. Boy, that sounds like a murderer right there.
It does. Welcome to the stage, Elena Rasmussen.
She was booked into jail on criminal charges of animal cruelty and petty theft, according to the arrest report. Apparently, her roommate filed a report saying Rasmussen took her pet spider when she wasn't at home, and then allegedly texted her roommate confessing to the crime. that she drowned the spider in ginger ale.
Oh, what did the spider ever do to you?
Rasmussen refused to speak to law enforcement. Your Honor, I want my lawyer here. I know my rights.
I plead the fifth, although I already confessed.
But she did confess to a deputy over the phone that, oh, yeah, I drowned the spider. Spider's worth $70.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's a fancy
spider.
It's a fancy spider. It's not just a regular spider. It wasn't like the roommate found this spider in the house and was like, oh, free pet. And then put it like in, you remember when you were a kid and you have those bug jars or whatever, and you'd be like, oh, I got a pet grasshopper. And you would just kind of like, oh, I'm going to feed it grass. And then finally your parents would just be like, you got to let that thing go. It's a wild animal. No, this is actually a purchase spider.
Yeah, she was arrested and released later that day. Doesn't say what the bail was on spider murder.
Yeah, I don't know what.
But she's out. She's out amongst us right now.
Good Lord, with her ginger. Watch out if she buys a Schweppes. You're in trouble. That was a weird. Yeah. That was a weird get for ginger ales. I could have gone with the Canadian one or whatever, but I went Schweppes. That was a deep cut on.
Yeah, good for you.
When I should have gone with one of our sponsors, Balls. They got some delicious ginger ale.
Yeah, we haven't had a nice glass of Balls in a while.
I really haven't had a nice cold glass of Balls. I need that down here in Florida, man. It is hot down here. I need a nice old ice cold glass of Balls to quench my thirst.
Real quick, it's also the 20th anniversary of the Dave Matthews Band performing in Chicago.
Yes, I saw that.
And releasing the poop from their bus, their tour bus.
It was like 800
bridge.
It was like 800 pounds of it, right?
Yeah.
It was some ungodly amount of number.
Yeah, it was 800 pounds of bathroom waste that they just happened to let go as an unsuspecting tour boat passed under the bridge.
Oh, God.
So here are these
is that what the Chili Peppers sang about? Is that what that song's about?
So here are these people who are just enjoying the architecture tour in Chicago, and they're looking up at the sights, and oh my gosh, Marina City, isn't that beautiful? And kaplumph.
Ugh. Yeah, all of a sudden, here comes some Dave Matthews waste.
Yeah.
Yuck. Riot Fest put a... Go ahead.
No, I said Riot Fest put it over to Paris, where they're trying to still swim in the damn river.
Well, back to the Dave Matthews Band thing. Riot Fest, I think, put a plaque on that bridge.
There is
that shows exactly where the crap went over the edge and fell on those poor people just doing the architecture tour. Those poor bastards. Yeah, are they swimming in the Poo River?
Yeah, apparently so. And now yet another triathlete has gone down with, quote, a pretty bad stomach flu.
Because you're swimming in crap.
Yeah. Because, there was this whole thing about we're cleaning up the River Seine, and every way you can swim it, it'll be perfectly fine, perfectly fine, perfectly fine. And now another triathlete has wiped out after swimming in the river. Alex Yee delivered one of the most memorable moments of the games. He staged a stunning late flight back with a compelling message. However, there were serious doubts that the men and women's triathlon could go on ahead of in the buildup, with practice sessions having to be scrapped as a result of dangerously high E. coli in the river.
No one wants that. No one wants that.
Olympic organizers shelled out $1.2 billion to try to clean up this river that hasn't been cleaned for 100 years.
Ugh. That's not enough money to clean out all that crap. No, thank you.
New Zealand silver medalist has been struggling with bacterial infections since she had to get out of the Monday's mixed relay as a result of her sickness. And a Portuguese...
Is it worth it?
No.
Is a silver medal worth swimming in a river of crap? I'm sorry, it just isn't to me.
Vomiting, diarrhea, headache, and stomach aches is not the way I wanted to leave Paris, he says. Luckily, I'm getting all the help. He's happy to be... Yeah, it's just, you've trained all your life for this. And my God, this is how you go out?
And Paris goes, yeah, about all that. Here's some crap to swim in. Enjoy our fine city and our fine Olympiad.
How badly do you want this gold medal? Swim the river.
Do an Andy Dufresne, Shawshank Redemption the hell out of this river. Get to the other side, and you will get your gold. You'll have Morgan Freeman there waiting. But my Portuguese friend, Andy Dufresne, swim through the Seine River with a mountain to poop. Speaking of the Olympics, I have not watched as much as I would have liked, but did you see the guy whose penis cost him the pole vault? Did you see that guy?
Amazing.
He's the only guy who won by losing. He was just about ready to clear that height, and then his dick just hit that just right and knocked the whole thing down. And now everyone's like, "Oh, that's pretty impressive." But that guy's penis knocked that thing down.
Yeah, and apparently a porn website has offered him $250,000 to show what he's got under there.
Oh, that checks. That goes right. And see, once again, it goes back to your theory of eventually we'll all be in one of those sites.
Yeah. They said as a lover of crotch-centric activities, I'd love to offer you up to $250,000 in exchange for a 60-minute webcam show in which you show off your goods, minus the crossbar, of course.
Yeah, you don't want that in there. I love how they love crotch-centric things.
Yeah. And when you watch the clip in slow motion, it's crazy because it's as if his wiener stops him for a split second. You can actually tell that the speed of him going over the bar, he slows down. It's like a drag shoot.
It is. He got going too fast. It's like, when you watch Top Gun, when they land on the deck of the aircraft carrier and they got that little that little kind of string across that they catch on. That was his penis. Yeah, that was his penis. His penis was a little stop me before I get going too fast. Poor guy.
He loaded up on Nugenics.
Oh, he definitely did. Yeah. Shameless
plug. Is that
plug
train
alert.
in the background? Is that distracting at all? I want to make sure it's not coming in on the record.
Was this distracting?
Yeah. That's not picking up on the microphone, is it?
No. Nope. Sorry. How about that?
Yeah. And she'll like it, Pooh.
She will at Cafe Risque. Great for dates and everything else, where we serve up the best bear burgers RFK supplies.
Well, it has been a thrill doing this first version of the Mike and Molson Too Good for Radio podcast across the many miles with you in the new Orlando studio. I appreciate you taking time to put this together for us.
I appreciate you doing the same, and looking forward to many more. I'll make sure to continue to get that excellent billboard content that is really lacking in most podcasts. So I'll make sure to bring more of that as I traverse this new state of mind.
More to come. We're still too awesome to be on the radio.